The world of books is often seen as a source of knowledge, entertainment, and comfort. We cherish the feel of aged paper, the scent of musty libraries, and the weight of history held within their pages. But what if I told you that some books harbor a dark and sinister secret, a secret bound not in leather or cloth but in human skin? This is the unsettling reality of anthropodermic bibliopegy, the practice of binding books with human hide. It's a practice that chills the blood and sparks a morbid curiosity in us all. The process of creating a human skin book was as meticulous as it was macabre. After death, the skin of the deceased would be carefully removed, treated, and stretched. Tanners would then use a variety of techniques to prepare the skin for bookbinding, removing any remaining flesh, hair, or blemishes. The resulting material, known as human parchment, was surprisingly durable and could be dyed, tooled, and decorated just like any other type of leather. Our journey into the unsettling world of anthropodermic bibliopegy begins with a tale of love, betrayal, and a murder that shocked 19th century England. In 1827, a young woman named Maria Martin disappeared from her village in Suffolk. Her lover, William Corder, became the prime suspect. Corder was eventually apprehended and confessed to killing Maria, burying her body in a nearby red barn. The crime caused a media sensation, with newspapers reporting on the gruesome details of the murder and the subsequent trial. Corder was found guilty and hanged for his crime. But the story doesn't end there. The tale of his crime was bounded with his own skin. Our exploration of human skin books takes us next to the shadowy world of 18th century England, where highwaymen roamed the roads, striking fear into the hearts of travelers. These outlaws, often romanticized in literature and folklore, lived lives of danger and desperation, their fates hanging precariously between fame and the gallows. One such figure, whose story became entwined with the macabre world of anthropodermic bibliopegy, was James Allen, a notorious highwayman whose crimes and ultimate demise captivated the public imagination.
Allen's story, much like the books bound in human skin, is one that walks a fine line between fact and legend. He was said to be a dashing rogue, known for his daring robberies and his ability to evade capture. But his life of crime eventually caught up with him, and he was apprehended and sentenced to death. It is in death that Allen's story takes a particularly gruesome turn, for his skin would become the binding of a book, forever linking him to the annals of anthropodermic history. Allen requested his memoirs to be bounded in his own skin. One copy was for his doctor, and another copy was for his victim, John Fenno, Jr.
From the shadowy world of highwaymen, we turn to a theme that has captivated artists and writers for centuries: death. The inevitability of our demise, the fragility of life, and the mysteries that lie beyond the grave have been explored in countless works of art, literature, and philosophy. And in the realm of anthropodermic bibliopegy, the dance of death emerges as a recurring motif, a chilling reminder of our own mortality.
One striking example of this theme can be found in a 16th century text held in the John Hay Library in Rhode Island. This volume, bound in the skin of a human being, features intricate illustrations of a skeleton dining with the king, a skeleton with a farmer, and a skeleton taking a child away from a family. The choice of human skin for the binding takes on a deeper significance in this context, for it transforms the book into a meditation on the very essence of life and death.
As we continue our exploration of anthropodermic bibliopegy, we turn our gaze to 19th century Edinburgh, a city shrouded in fog and mystery. Here, amidst the cobblestone streets and shadowed closes, a tale of horror and greed unfolded that would leave a permanent scar on the annals of history. This is the story of William Burke and his infamous skin pocketbook. William Burke, along with his accomplice William Hare, embarked on a gruesome enterprise that shocked the city to its core. They lured unsuspecting victims to their deaths, selling the bodies to Dr. Robert Knox, a prominent anatomist, for dissection. Over the course of a year, they claimed the lives of at least 16 people, their crimes driven by the dark allure of profit and the demand for fresh cadavers. The horrors perpetrated by Burke and Hare were eventually uncovered, leading to Burke's trial and execution in 1829. But even in death, Burke could not escape the macabre legacy he had created. In a chilling twist, His skin was flayed and used to bind a small pocketbook, a grim artifact that serves as a stark reminder of the depths of human depravity and the lengths to which society will go to remember its most notorious villains. This pocketbook, encased in the very flesh of the man who had caused so much suffering, stands as a testament to the dark fascination with crime and punishment that permeated the era. It is a relic that forces us to confront the unsettling intersection of justice and retribution, and the ways in which the human body can be both a vessel of life and a symbol of death. As we delve deeper into the world of Anthropodermic Bibliopegy, the story of Burke's skin pocketbook reminds us that the past is never truly buried. It lives on in the artifacts we create and the memories we preserve, haunting us with the echoes of its dark and twisted tales. Our unsettling journey through the annals of Anthropodermic Bibliopegy takes us back to Victorian England, a time of great social and scientific change, but also an era marked by stark contrasts between wealth and poverty, progress and prejudice.
It is against this backdrop that we encounter the story of the Horwood Book, a chilling artifact that embodies the era's fascination with crime and punishment, as well as the unsettling ways in which the human body could be exploited even after death.
The Horwood Book, a collection of trial transcripts and legal documents, is bound in the skin of John Horwood, a 19th century murderer executed for the brutal killing of Eliza Balsam.
Horwood's crime, a sensational case that gripped the public imagination, became a cautionary tale, a stark reminder of the darkness that lurked beneath the veneer of Victorian respectability.
And in a macabre twist that mirrored the era's obsession with death, Horwood's skin was used to bind the very book that documented his crimes. As we delve deeper into the annals of Anthropodermic Bibliopegy, we come across a book that stands apart not just for its morbid binding, but also for its historical significance. A true and perfect relation of the whole proceedings against the late most barbarous traitors, Garnet a Jesuit and his Confederates, is a book bound in the skin of Father Henry Garnet, a Jesuit priest executed for his alleged involvement in the gunpowder plot of 1605. This plot, an attempt to assassinate King James and blow up the House of Lords, remains one of the most infamous conspiracies in English history. Father Garnet, a man of deep religious conviction, was accused of being a secret mastermind behind the plot, despite his protests of innocence. His trial, filled with intrigue and political maneuvering, gripped the nation and left an indelible mark on the collective psyche of the era. After his execution, Garnet's body was subjected to the ultimate indignity. His skin was used to bind the very book that detailed the proceedings of his trial and his supposed treachery. The cover of this book, adorned with Garnet's image, serves as a chilling reminder of the lengths to which society went to vilify and immortalize a deemed traitor. It is a stark testament to the brutal intersection of faith, politics, and punishment during a tumultuous period in English history. This artifact, bound in the skin of a man whose guilt remains a topic of debate, forces us to confront the darker aspects of human nature and the enduring power of propaganda. As we turn the pages of this macabre volume, we are reminded once again of the unsettling ways in which the human body has been used to serve the narratives of power and control. Father Henry Garnet's story, etched in both ink and flesh, stands as a haunting relic of a time when the lines between justice and vengeance were often indistinguishably blurred. In the annals of Anthropodermic Bibliopegy, few books carry the weight of both literary and macabre significance like The Destinies of the Soul, by Arsène Houssaye. Bound in the skin of an unknown woman, this volume stands as a haunting testament to the intersection of science, literature, and the human condition. The story begins with Dr. Ludovic Bouland, a 19th century French doctor and bibliophile, who chose to bind his friend's work in a material that would forever tie the physical and metaphysical realms together. Dr. Bouland's decision to use human skin was not merely an act of morbid fascination. Instead, it was deeply rooted in the cultural and scientific milieu of the time. The 19th century was a period marked by significant advances in medicine and a growing interest in the human body, as both a subject of study and a medium of art. Within Des Destinées de l'Âme is a note written by Dr. Bouland, stating no ornament had been stamped on the cover to preserve its elegance. Bouland wrote, "I had kept this piece of human skin taken from the back of a woman. A book about the human soul deserved to have a human covering." For Bouland, binding the destinies of the soul in human skin was a way to underscore the book's exploration of the human spirit and its ultimate fate. As we turn the pages of The Destinies of the Soul, we are reminded that the book itself is a relic of a time when the boundaries between science, art, and morality were often blurred. Dr. Boulan's creation serves as both a tribute to his friend Arsène Houssaye and a stark reminder of the lengths to which humanity has gone to explore the mysteries of existence. In this chapter, we delve into the historical background of this grim practice, exploring the reasons behind such a choice and the cultural context that made it possible. The binding of the destinies of the soul stands as a chilling example of how the human body has been used to immortalize the thoughts, beliefs, and curiosities of an era long past. This artifact, like many others bound in human skin, forces us to confront the darker aspects of our history and the ways in which we have used the human body to serve narratives of power, control, and intellectual pursuit. As we reflect on the legacy of the destinies of the soul, we are reminded of the fragile line between reverence and exploitation, and the enduring power of the human story etched in both ink and flesh. As we conclude our journey into the unsettling world of Anthropodermic Bibliopegy, we're left with a profound sense of unease, a lingering discomfort that extends far beyond the mere macabre nature of these objects.
The books we've explored, bound in the skin of criminals, the forgotten, and those seeking a macabre form of atonement, stand as chilling reminders of a time when the lines between life and death, art and atrocity, were often blurred.
They serve as tangible links to the past, their very existence challenging our modern sensibilities, forcing us to confront the darkest corners of human history.
Each book, with its human skin cover, whispers a tale of mortality, of the fragility of life, and the unsettling ways in which the human body has been used and abused throughout history.
It's a legacy etched not just in ink and paper, but in skin.
The practice of anthropodermic bibliopegy raises profound ethical questions that continue to be debated today. Is it ever justifiable to use human remains in such a manner? What responsibilities do museums and libraries have in preserving and displaying these objects? And how do we reconcile the historical significance of these books with the moral repugnance they evoke? Some argue that human skin books are simply artifacts of the past, reflections of a time when attitudes towards death and the human body were vastly different from our own. To censor or destroy these objects, they contend, would be to erase a part of history, however uncomfortable it may be. Others, however, view these books as gruesome reminders of past injustices, their very existence a form of exploitation that continues to this day. Today, the few remaining human skin books are largely housed in museums and libraries around the world. They serve as a stark reminder of a darker chapter in human history, a time when the boundaries of morality and decency were stretched to their limits.
These institutions now face the daunting task of safeguarding these objects while grappling with the ethical dilemmas they represent.
The preservation of these books is crucial. They are, despite their unsettling nature, historical artifacts that provide insights into past beliefs, practices, and attitudes towards death and the human body.
They offer a window into the minds of those who created and used them, and they challenge us to confront the darker aspects of our collective past.
However, the display of these books requires careful consideration and sensitivity. It is essential to provide context, to educate the public about the history of anthropodermic bibliopegy, and to acknowledge the ethical complexities involved.
Museums and libraries have a responsibility to engage in open and honest dialogue about these objects, to foster understanding and encourage critical reflection.
The story of human skin books is not over. They continue to spark debate, challenge our understanding of the past, and force us to confront the enduring power of the macabre. As we move forward, it is our responsibility to approach these objects with a critical eye, to learn from the past, and to ensure that the stories they tell are never forgotten, even as we strive for a more just and humane future. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.